It was in 1983 when cricket pundits, media wrote off a 14-member Indian side, saying that there's no chance that these men could win a World Cup, that too in England. And Kapil Dev ends up lifting the World Cup, and you have a generation of cricketers who you know were inspired from this win. In 2011, the World Cup comes to India, and you have a very spirited Indian team, legends of the game: Virendra Sehwag, Sachin Tendulkar, Yuvraj Singh, and you have this famous picture that some people don't like. I don't know why, of Mahendra Singh Dhoni hitting the final six. The Ravi Shastri commentary. I'm sure we are a day away from probably hearing that again.
I would love to see Shubman Gill carry Virat Kohli on his shoulders.
But actually, you don't want to injure him also.
Travis Head and Warner are in great form. You have Mitchell Marsh, who scored a gigantic 170. Batting at number three, is coming in at number three. Steve Smith is looking well. He doesn't have a big score. India should be worried about that. And then Maxwell's had 201, and Maxwell is the kind of player who can just take the game away from you when he gets going.
Their middle order has been struggling, and if you look at their matches, even against South Africa, except that a good knock by English, you had South Africa where could have made a difference if if they had scored around 20 or 30 runs more.
This World Cup will be remembered for Mohammad Shami. Let's not forget that. So, if we come to the Indian side, I think there's nothing much to be spoken about the Indian side. It's been doing really well. I think all boxes are ticked.
A team like Australia can never be taken lightly. They know how to win, and Australia have been the most successful team, winning the World Cups for 5 times. Here, Rohit Sharma, who played freely, which allowed Shubman Gill to settle in. And when Virat Kohli comes in, you had Shubman Gill going bonkers, and you had Virat Kohli giving Virat Kohli the time to set in. Then you had Shreyas here coming in. Virat Kohli is settled. He's playing his shots, and you have Shreyas here going crazy.
So Rohit Sharma could have easily, the way he was batting, he could have easily stroked 3, 4, or even 500s in this tournament. But when he went to 40 of 24 balls, of 80 of 60 balls, 80 of 50 balls, he could have easily just nudged those singles around and got to 100, got to 150, maybe 200 as well. But he clearly has shown that he's leading by example.
There are a lot of social media posts on Rahul Dravid, drawing parallels to a character of Shah Rukh Khan in Chak De India. Rahul Dravid was part of the 2003 World Cup final against Australia, and then he was the captain of the 2007 ODI, World Cup where India had been knocked out of the league stages, and then you had the whole Dhoni era. But Rahul Dravid's arc,
Rohit Sharma has batted a particular way, Virat Kohli has batted a particular way, Shreyas Iyer has batted a particular way, KL Rahul has blossomed into this amazing cricketer, amazing batsman that he was prior to his injury as well. So the credit for this must go to the combination of Rahul Dravid and coach Rahul Dravid and captain Rohit Sharma. Because this is not happening by chance. They came in with a specific plan that we are going to play 5 bowlers who are wicket takers.
hello and welcome to the News Minute. 47 matches, and we are down to the top two teams in the tournament. This is the final of the 2023 ICC Cricket World Cup, and joining me is Siddharth Prabhakar, who's been writing for us and covering the World Cup for the News Minute. Siddharth, it was in 1983 when cricket pundits, media wrote off a 14-member Indian side, saying that there's no chance that these men could win a World Cup, that too in England. And Kapil Dev ends up lifting the World Cup, and you have a generation of cricketers who were inspired from this win. In 2011, the World Cup comes to India, and you have a very spirited Indian team, legends of the game: Virendra Sehwag, Sachin Tendulkar, Yuvraj Singh playing for his out of his life to win in the other World Cup. You have this famous picture that some people don't like. I don't know why, of Mahendra Singh Dhoni hitting the final six. The Ravi Shastri commentary. I'm sure we are a day away from probably hearing that again. November 19th could be a special day, could be a heartbreak for cricket fans across the globe. They're all glued onto their 12 televisions. Siddharth, what is your take on India taking Australia today?
Hi Bhuvan, just like millions of cricket fans across the world and crores of Indians in our country, and of course across the world. I am extremely excited at this prospect of India lifting the World Cup for the third time. And just like the '83 World Cup had a lot of Indian cricketing legends like Kapil Dev, Sunil Gavaskar, Dilip Vengsarkar, Mohinder Amarnath, and the 2011 World Cup winning squad had the biggest legend of them all, Sachin Tendulkar, the greatest, possibly the greatest Indian ODI captain, MS Dhoni, Gautam Gambhir, Virender Sehwag, Yuvraj Singh, possibly the best all-rounder that India has produced till date, after Kapil Dev, of course. Uh, this team also has legends who probably 10-15 years later will be hailed by cricket fans across the world, also Indians,
So
mainly
what are
Virat.
your what are you said Virat Kohli? What are the players that you think are the legends and are the going have a promise of going big in their careers?
Yeah, so no questions about it, Bhuvan. I think Virat Kohli is someone who is already a legend while he's still playing cricket. Rohit Sharma, believe me, everybody. I think even business schools. I think even corporate, offices. They are going to study Rohit Sharma's captaincy and his batting style, and how he has managed to change his game from the previous T20 World Cup to this will be studied as a case study. Believe me, as something that is going to be extremely inspiring. Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, of course, Jasprit Bumrah. Let's not forget KL Rahul. I mean, we all talk about Rahul Dravid's wicket keeping, how he took wicket keeping over, but KL Rahul has actually been a brilliant wicket keeper just with the gloves. If you just look at his glove work, not to forget of his batting, which has been brilliant. Then, of course, Shreyas Iyer and Shubman Gill, like everybody is predicting, is going to be is tipped to break Virat Kohli's record. I mean, people are betting on him, and of course, Mohammad Shami. Mohammad Shami will be remembered as this spell by this World Cup will be remembered for Mohammad Shami. Let's not forget that. Let's not in the brouhaha over Virat Kohli. Let's not forget that this is Mohammad Shami's World Cup. No questions asked. So let's see if 2023 can give a memorable moment for Indian cricket fans across the globe. But other than that, I believe that the final is not going to be easy. If we remember the league stage tie between the two countries, it happened in Chennai. And it was I mean, if you look at the scorecard, then India probably, you'll feel that India probably won the game very easily. But you, me, and a lot of others know that India were down at 5 for 3, chasing a decent total by Australia, and it could have been maybe, I think, 19 for 4 if Mitchell Marsh had taken that catch of Virat Kohli. So the World Cup could have been completely different. India's campaign could have been completely different. I am not saying that they wouldn't have reached the semis or the final, but yeah, they campaigned. And let's remember that Australia, I think, have, if correct me if I'm wrong, they've had an 8-match winning streak in this World Cup after their shaky start. They were really good against South Africa. I mean, semi-final was a difficult game. South Africa did fight well. They made some mistakes. They did not hold on to chances, and probably they lost a bit of steam. I think the semi-final, I think the final, India versus Australia, is not going to be an easy one. Australia is known as a side which comes really hard at their opponents in big games. They have big match players, legends of the game like David Warner and Steve Smith. And I'm really betting big on Steve Smith scoring 100 in the final. If he is able to get past Ravindra Jadeja, that is going to be his only challenge. But even aside from that, I think it's going to be a cracker of a contest like Ravi Shastri puts it. So yeah, so my expectations from this game are really high.
A team like Australia can never be taken lightly. They know how to win, and Australia have been the most successful team, winning the World Cups for 5 times. So they know how to go about these pressure situations. But when you look at India and Australia, they've, in terms of winning, they've almost had a similar kind of a tournament. Australia lost their first two matches, but then went not convincingly disseminating their opponents, but they've had inspiring matches and they've had an unbeaten eight win run. So, how do you see their approach when they meet India again? And they are the hosts. It's Ahmedabad, a massive packed stadium. It's a no-brainer. How do you see their approach?
Yeah. So, Bhuvan, let's start off with the Australian team first. What I think about the Australian team right now is that finally, after the semi-final, Australia are ticking almost all boxes. The weakest link in their side was the batting of their wicketkeeper batsman Josh Inglis. If you see, Inglis had been, had replaced Alex Carey, who had considerable success as a left-hand batsman, and Australia have stuck through him even though he has been extremely patchy. He doesn't have any big scores to his name. But if you see the game against South Africa, my personal take is that Inglis looked the most comfortable batsman. Let's remember that he came in after Maxwell had just been castled by Tabrez Shamsi, and he played very very confidently. He was able to stroke really well, and to be fair, he's the one who kind of shepherded Australia to victory in the last leg. So that is one box that that was probably empty, but now Australia have ticked it. Otherwise, their top order is striking really well. Travis Head and Warner are in great form. You have Mitchell Marsh, who scored a gigantic 170. Batting at number three, is coming in at number three. Steve Smith is looking well. He doesn't have a big score. India should be worried about that. And then Maxwell's had 201, and Maxwell is the kind of player who can just take the game away from you when he gets going. And if you see their bowling performance, I think Josh Hazelwood has been the dark horse. If I remember correctly, Hazelwood was the one responsible for India's 5-for-3 predicament when they first met in Chennai. Cummins has, in the preview for the semi-final, we spoke about how Cummins and Stark were not doing well in this tournament. So Cummins had picked up a three-wicket haul. Stark also looked good. Let us also tell our viewers that Stark is married to Alyssa Healy, who is the niece of former Australian wicket-keeping great Ian Healy. So Ian Healy has commented that Stark is probably not looking at his best. It is I see it as a typical Australian way of firing up a current team player by just criticizing them on the eve of a match. This is something that Indians don't do. Indians always talk well about a player, ex players. But in Australia, I think it's probably different. They criticize, they come really hard at their opponents as well as their own team players. So Australia is definitely looking good, but even if you see in the semi-final, their batting against spin bowling has been quite suspect. So that is one area where they will have trouble, and I think David Warner, I think got out to an off spinner. Aiden Markram, I think, got him bowled. So if they can, so how they negotiate again, how they negotiate the 20 overs of spin that India's two left arm spinners are going to dish out is going to be key, according to me. And of course, how their bowling performs well against India's batting firepower. That is going to be. And so, if we come to the Indian side, I think there's nothing much to be spoken about the Indian side. It's been doing really well. I think all boxes are ticked. The only $1 million question that a lot of people on the social media, as well as on, I was I was playing a small cricket match today morning. So a lot of people are talking about if Ravichandran Ashwin is going to be, it would be a good option for the Indians to try out. And people were debating if they should drop Mohammad Siraj for Ashwin, because Ashwin adds that the right arm off spin option, which can be lethal against Warner and Travis Head, both left-handers opening the innings. But if you ask me, then looking at how Rohit Sharma has been selecting his team this tournament, I don't think they're going to make. I don't think India is going to make any changes, and I definitely think Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Siraj are going to be among the wickets in the final, because this is Jasprit Bumrah's home ground. So this is my take, Bhuvan. So can you give me your take for both teams, for Australia and India?
Right, Siddharth. I think Australia, as you rightly pointed out, have had great starts. You have Warner, you have had Marsh, and you have had Travis Head, who have been giving. They've actually been the most successful team in the power plays, but their middle order has been struggling. And if you look at their matches, even against South Africa, except that a good knock by English, you had South Africa where could have had a made a difference if if they had scored around 20 or 30 runs more. So it was so that I think is probably one of the biggest worry for Australia that could be was is their middle order who have not been convincing. Have not been among the runs. You have Steven Smith, you have Labuschagne who have not scored runs. So and when you talk about Steven Smith, I know I have to talk about Australia, but I have to cut in again and talk about Ravindra Jadeja, who is lethal against him, who never leaves him even in white ball or red ball. He's among the wickets against him, and I'm sure Labushane also struggles against Jadeja, and you have Kuldeep Yadav, who's been troubling Warner, who's been troubling the left-handers also. So I think Australian middle order has a great challenge ahead of them, where they have to face Indian spinners, but the top order also have their task cut out with Bumrah, Siraj, and Shami coming in. I don't have anything to speak about India because they've been ticking all the boxes right, like you said. And again, I would rather prefer that we stick to the same team because even though Siraj has been among the runs, he does bowl those pressure balls. He does bring the ball in, and with the new ball, if he could get a wicket in or if he could trouble a batsman a little, I'm sure Bumrah and Shami will be complimented with that.
Bhuvan, what is your take on Ravichandran Ashwin replacing, say, Mohammad Siraj? How do you weigh it, pros and cons, if you would like to?
See, I definitely feel that Ashwin is a great player, and a lot of people actually rule him out, saying that he's more of a red ball cricketer. But if you see his record, he's been phenomenal in white ball as well. And nothing against Ashwin, but if you ask me, in Indian paces, Siraj has been among runs, but he's bowling quick, he's bowling fast, and I think that you will want to put that pressure against the Australians. I'm like I feel Rohit Sharma will not have a change. He will not. He's not going to change his team. But you never know. Even in 2011, you see Ashwin had only played against West Indies or something. I think it was in Chennai. It was his home ground, and we finally saw the home boy playing. And he was used against Australia in the semi-finals also, in the quarterfinals also. But the off spin against left-handers debate. I think. It's not. I think Kuldeep Yadav and Ravindra Jadeja have been doing the job. So I feel I would rather have Siraj, three fast bowlers attacking with the kind of the pace they have, attacking the batsmen. It's not going to be easy for them. And if you look at the average scores at Ahmedabad, we'll get into the pitch and the conditions in Ahmedabad. The average scores have been 250, around 260, and this except Chennai, this has been one ground where 300 runs haven't been scored. So but then again, it's the finals. Anything can happen, and I feel that India will stick to their pace attack and wouldn't want to make a change. And traditionally, as we know how India functions, if they're winning, they want to continue the winning combinations. So that is there. But you saw Australians struggling against Keshav Maharaj took a wicket, but they did struggle against him. They did struggle against. They struggled against Shamsi. So, how do you see Ravindra Jadeja and Kuldeep Yadav, who've been brilliant coming in this match?
If you, I mean, I saw the semi-final, Australia South Africa semi-final. Of course, both semi-finals fully. If I remember correctly, the commentators were pointing out how Travis Head is a very nervous starter, and if I remember correctly, a nervous starter, especially when the ball is nipping or swinging away from him. So, in my mind, what I think is that Mohammad Siraj bowling over the wicket to the left-handed Travis Head and getting him caught at second slip, or Jasprit Bumrah coming around the wicket, angling it in but taking it away, and castling his off stump, or again getting caught at first or second slip, is a visualization that I am getting right now. But all said and done, Travis Head has been, Australia's Rohit Sharma in a way, and nothing to take away from him. I think if he gets off to a great start, he is the kind of player that can demoralize an opposition's bowling lineup. But like you rightly said, even if Travis Head gets 100, even if Warner gets 100, uh, the middle order, Australian middle order, has been brittle in the recent past as well as in this World Cup. Let's not forget the Australia versus Pakistan game, again Bangalore on a small, ground, where Warner and Mitchell Marsh got hundreds each, and Australia could have easily gone to 400 plus, but they ended, in the vicinity of 380, if I remember correctly. So Australian middle order, like you rightly pointed out in your analysis, have a big uphill challenge, and they have not really done well. So as far as Australia is concerned, it is not only up to Travis Head and David Warner. Others have to pitch in, and that is where I feel like I said, how Australian batsmen play the 20 overs of Kuldeep Yadav and Ravindra Jadeja. For the left-handers, Kuldeep Yadav will be able to take the ball away from their bat, and for the right-handers, Jadeja will do the same. I am not someone who believes in this nonsense of having to take the ball away. I think, yeah, Keshav Maharaj got Travis Head bowled with his first ball. So I think, yeah, so that's going to be a big challenge. And I think we are hearing that the surface for the final will be a used one, so it's likely to be a bit, it might be conducive for spin. So yeah, so I think that's going to be a big challenge. What is also going to be interesting is that Australia definitely will have three spinners, because we saw how much turn Travis had got in Kolkata. So Australia will have three spinners, but India will have two, and it'll be interesting to see if Captain Rohit Sharma uh, comes on to bowl or something like that. But yeah.
Right. So, before we get into how important the toss is, I would like to ask you about Rohit Sharma, the captain, the manager of this team. He's managing seniors like Virat Kohli, Shami, who has played for a long time with, and you have him gelling around so well with, like with Ishan Kishan, Shumban Gill, Shreyas Iyer, giving the confidence to Shreyas Iyer, who had a brilliant 100, and this is the uh, energy that you've seen in Mumbai Indians also. That is a lot of, I think, after Chennai Super Kings, you have Mumbai Indians who have that kind of team vibe where people gel together, they have fun together, they laugh together, they win together. So how do you see Rohit Sharma's contribution to this team,
So
regardless of
as
how
a
it turns out tomorrow, not today?
So as a Yeah, that's correct. So as a cricket follower, I have been fortunate to follow Rohit Sharma's career right from the start till the end. I mean, we saw the years. Uh, I was glued to my screens in the 2007 T20 World Cup, where Rohit Sharma burst onto the scene, and he played a brilliant knock against South Africa in a very tough game, and I think he had a cameo against Australia as well. Then I remember him not being picked for the 2011 World Cup. People are talking about talent, and all. And then I remember the years where MS Dhoni persisted with him in the side. He was probably playing down the order, four down or something in those years. And everybody was talking about how Rohit Sharma is getting such a long rope, but he's not delivering with the results. Think about MS Dhoni. Think about those days where people wanted Rohit Sharma to not be given a long rope, such a long rope, for him to be dropped. I mean, after that, Rohit Sharma, has opened the innings. He's had a fantastic career. his highest score in ODIs is 264. I mean, how many people can even boast of a test highest score of 264? Forget an ODI score. I think he has three double hundreds in ODIs. And as far as his captaincy goes, like you rightly said, just like the vibe that he has brought in at the Mumbai Indians, he's done the same for the Indian team as well. But in Mumbai Indians, he is the leader. I think the team is owned by the richest, one of the richest men in the world. So, there might be some kind of. I'm just guessing. There might be some kind of uh, uh, people have to behave. But as far as the Indian team is concerned, you've always had these seniors who have their presence and who have made their presence felt in the team. And many people can talk about Virat Kohli playing in the side after leading it for so many years. I mean, but definitely we all are professionals. We know, we work in offices. I mean, we know what egos can do in a professional space. So definitely there might have been some sparks, there might have been some kind of a rivalry, there could have been, there possibly could have been. But people have put that apart, and full credit to Rohit Sharma for handling this very very maturely. But that is just one aspect of it, Bhuvan. So you look at the thing that we need to look at is Rohit Sharma could have easily, the way he was batting, he could have easily stroked three, four, or even 500s in this tournament. But when he went to 40 of 24 balls, of 80 of 60 balls, 80 of 50 balls, he could have easily just nudged those singles around and got to 100, got to 150, maybe 200 as well. But he clearly has shown that he's leading by example. He's saying that no, every batsman has a role to play in this batting order. My role is to attack the bowlers, is to put the pressure onto the bowlers, uh, in and to score quickly in the power play, to get my side off to a rollicking start, so that the Kohlis, the Shreyas Iyer, the KL Rahul can take their time, to build an innings in the middle over. Shubman Gill can play around for a while to build an innings, and that is going to be and that is the way the plan has been set, and that is exactly how he has executed. A lot of cricketers talk about having plans and the ability to execute them well. MS Dhoni keeps talking about this in his post-match presentation. So Rohit Sharma will definitely be talked about. Believe me, he'll definitely be talked about for several years about this approach and how he was able to execute, change his batting completely, and execute it so well in this World Cup. And let's hope he does it one final time in the World Cup final as well.
Right. So you talked about how Rohit Sharma has been giving India the starts. If you look at the semi-final, it was a very interesting thing that the commentators also pointed out, that you had Rohit Sharma who played freely, which allowed Shubman Gill to settle in. And when Virat Kohli comes in, you had Shubman Gill going bonkers, and you had Virat Kohli giving Virat Kohli the time to set in. Then you had Shreyas here coming in. Virat Kohli is settled. He's playing his shots, and you have Shreyas here going crazy. His run rate was amazing, and he was hitting them long. He was hitting the boundaries, keeping the run rate ticking. And then you had KL Rahul, who had a small role to play in the semi-finals. But the kind of batting that these people are having right now, and the kind of the starts they get, continue to complement each other. They continue to help each other, and they are this is something that I haven't seen before. You had you would have great starts, then you'll have, it'll take to slow down a little and this. But last and you have seen India playing against smaller ranked teams this way, but against New Zealand in a semi-final with all the pressure. And I think there was a moment where Virat Kohli was a review against Virat Kohli was taken, and my heart was something wondering if a wicket here would fall, what would happen. But kind of thing, kind of batsman, kind of batting that India has been doing right now, you would think that Shreyas Iyer and KL Rahul could hold the anchor for a while. So, tell us something about that.
Yeah, so I mean, I would personally doff my hat to Rahul Dravid. I think he's faced a lot of criticism in the past 1.5 years. Especially when India lost the ODI series in Bangladesh. And I don't think India played very convincingly against Australia in the home ODI series as well. And there was a lot of criticism flowing in against Rahul Dravid. Is he the right man for the job? I'm sure you also had a lot of friends, dissing Rahul Dravid about it. But you look at the way. I mean, everybody today is talking about how Rohit Sharma has batted a particular way, Virat Kohli has batted a particular way, Shreyas Iyer has batted a particular way, KL Rahul has, blossomed into this amazing cricketer, amazing batsman that he was prior to his injury as well. So the credit for this must go to the combination of Rahul Dravid and coach Rahul Dravid and captain Rohit Sharma, because this is not happening by chance. Let us make this very clear. This is not a coincidence. This is something that has been planned. This is something that they have worked on for several months. This is something that they've inculcated in the side. This is the side that they wanted to play with. They came in with a specific plan that we are going to play five bowlers who are wicket takers. They said that this is going to be our World Cup side. This is going to be a batting order. This is how we are going to play. Nobody would have raised an eyebrow if Shikhar Dhawan had made this squad, because Shikhar Dhawan has been in good form. But no, they decided to back Shubman Gill, who really, just came out blasting at the stage with a double hundred just recently. So they ensured that they gave chances. Shreyas Iyer was played in the series against Australia, where he scored a very important 100. If I remember correctly, it was in Indore. So full credit to the captain and coach. And BCCI, BCCI has always been, the selectors and all have always been someone who backed their captain and coach to work on their philosophy, and it has paid rich dividends. India making the final, and we are hoping they win the final as well.
Right before we wrap up, there are a lot of social media posts on Rahul Dravid, drawing parallels to a character of Shah Rukh Khan in Chak De India. Rahul Dravid was part of the 2003 World Cup final against Australia, and then he was the captain of the 2007 ODI, World Cup, where India had been knocked out of the league stages, and then you had the whole Dhoni era, but Rahul Dravid's arc from that and today to be a coach of this side who's been unbeaten, and I think they'll equal the record of, if they win, they'll equal the record of the 12 unbeaten 11 unbeaten matches in a World Cup. Uh, Rahul Dravid, the coach, has seen it all. What do you say? What do you think?
So if you looked at Rahul Dravid's career, which I'm sure you have through your childhood, he's a very understated person. He's never one to go out and say, look at me, look at my record, look at me. I have scored more than 10,000 runs in Test cricket and ODI cricket, and I have all these records. He's never been that kind of a person. So even now, he's not going to be the kind of person who's going to say, see, I won, I did this, I did. He's going to, quietly go out in the sunset, like the famous ad, kind of, lampoons him, Indira Nagar ka gunda hu main. He's definitely not that person. He definitely has fire. He's very aggressive, but win or loss tomorrow, Rahul Dravid will be given a lot of credit for this stupendous thing. But win or loss, he's going to go out in the sunset, very quietly. I don't think we're going to make. He'll make a lot of noise, and then he'll ensure that the changeover is very, very seamless. The next coach, whoever comes in, ensures the same kind of philosophy, or whatever the new coach wants to take it forward. But Rahul Dravid will be remembered. Will definitely be remembered in Indian cricket history for this, because it is unprecedented. You and me both have memories of the 2003 World Cup, 2007 World Cup, 99 World Cup, and the 2011 World Cup, which wasn't 2000, even the 2011 World Cup win was not as amazing as this one. It was not as India has just absolutely powered through. It's actually, to borrow a phrase, probably road rolled or steamrolled through the opposition. So this is unprecedented. So definitely Rahul Dravid deserves a huge credit for, and he will definitely get credit for this.
Right. Let's also not forget that Rahul Dravid was part of the NCA, the National Cricket Academy, was part of the Indian under 19 side, who saw Shubman Gill ranks of Shreyas Iyer, Kuldeep Yadav, develop under him, and credit is due where it's due. So finally, Siddharth, it's toss. What do you think the players would want to do? What do you think India is looking to do today?
I think the biggest learning that India will take from Australia's World Cup, semi-final game, is that Australia is still a shaky chasing side. So, it's a final, it's a pressure game. So I think my thinking is that Rohit Sharma, if he wins the toss, he'll definitely look to bat first, put a good total on the board, maybe 300. 300 would be a good score if they are going with a used pitch. I think 300 will be a good score. It's a decent sized ground, so I don't think it'll be like Bangalore where you can just hit through the line and get a 50-meter, 55-meter six. I think it's going to be challenging. 300 will be challenging. If Australia win the toss, definitely Australia will also, I think, look to bat first, because that's what they wanted to do in Kolkata as well. But for them, the challenge will be slightly difficult. I don't think just 300 will be enough for this batting for this side. In case Australia because Australia has to remember, which I'm sure they have planned for. Even if they get 300 on the board and India is chasing, and say India is maybe 200 for five in say 40 overs or 38 overs, 100 of the last 12 overs, you still have Surya Kumar Yadav and Ravindra Jadeja, who are and it's a situation that they have handled a lot in the IPL. We've talked about this many times. Ravindra Jadeja 6 and 4 of the last ball to win the IPL final this year. So that is going to be a challenge. I don't think Australia has that kind of a finisher in their batting lineup. So Australia which will have to plan better, which will have to execute better. I think India, it's going to be a very very straightforward thing. Win the toss, bat first, and if you're chasing, then India has the firepower to chase even a pretty big total as well.
Right, Siddharth. It was wonderful to discuss the World Cup matches with you. I'm sure we'll have more discussions on cricket and other sports as well. And April 2011 was an important date. We all remember it. We all remember the 1983 World Cup. There are a lot of probability, a lot of chances that remember the days today, November 19th, if India win the World Cup. We'll be back. We'll definitely be back. I know. Talk about the final also.
So, Bhuvan, just one final thing. Will it be Kapil Dev, MS Dhoni, Rohit Sharma, or will it be Alan Border, Steve Waugh, Ricky Ponting, Michael Clark, and Pat Cummins? So, if you see, Pat Cummins is the only bowling captain for Australia, and not much to say on the Indian side, but of course, let's see if Rohit Sharma can do one. And if India definitely win, I would love to see Shubman Gill carry Virat Kohli on his shoulders.
But you don't want to injure him also.
Yeah, no, it's okay. And I hope maybe someone like Surya Kumar Yadav can carry Rohit Sharma on his shoulders, something like that. Yeah, that would be great.
We'll definitely look forward for the victory lap if we do win, and we'll
Yeah,
hope for the best. Keep watching the news minute, keep following the news minute, and thank you, Siddharth. We hope we have a great match today.
thank you, Bhuvan.